Welcome to the Shop Floor Podcast. It's hot as hell.
You don't care over there, bud.
This is our host, Douglas.
This is Mike.
I don't know where I am.
This is Douglas. This is Mike. Fuck me, I guess.
Why don't we redo this? Because we were
Scoot
on a
closer.
different topic, and then you just suddenly go.
Welcome to the Shop Floor Podcast.
Hey. I'm Doug. I'm your host.
Joking, Byron.
We've done this 3 times, you guys.
You caught me off
Welcome
guard.
to the Shop Floor.
Off guard!
God damn it!
Off guard! Are you kidding me?
Welcome to the Shop Floor Podcast. That's Byron, that's Doug, and I'm Mike. Welcome to episode 3.
I cannot carry all the weight of this show, okay? I cannot do it. I'm already the producer. I already have to do everything on this thing. Your life must be so hard. Your life must be so hard. Is it?
You have no
Technical
idea.
difficulties.
You're a difficulty.
We'll be back.
You're a difficulty.
You have
Would
no
you like
idea.
to
man.
redo this, Byron?
No. Well,
Is your life hard?
not easy.
Is it hard?
Does Byron touch you? Blink twice if you're in danger.
You should blink twice.
Oh, shit. Alright, today's episode, it's quantity versus quality. We're going to see how the
I thought it was union versus non-union.
No, this was, you literally picked quantity.
Oh, did I?
You did.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry. I've been working 60 hours a week. My brain's a little kerfuzzled.
Fuck you, so am I.
Okay. It's okay.
Oh.
My hours have changed to 10-hour days.
Oh!
Dude, quit turning that
You're the
around.
one reading it.
You're starting us off.
I am.
You are. You're going
Well,
right
I
on
said
ahead.
quantity versus quality. You know, is building quicker better, or is taking your time and actually doing it the right way the first time to get a better product the better choice of the two? Mike, would you like to read the statistics? And
I'd absolutely love to, Doug. Considering, you didn't help me write this up. Myron?
Oh, your life is a hard one. Oh, you didn't help me write it up.
Well, I'm sitting here.
Shut up.
Well, I'm sitting here reading this. Byron, do you want to go online and look up,
I would love to, Mike. I would love to. I would love to. It would be my pleasure. But as you can see, I am dealing with some things right now. I have some things on my plate. This is partly why I am sweating so hard right now. Because my life's work is on this computer, and it's been like that for 20 minutes.
did you ask it nicely?
shut up, he's right next to me. He might stab me.
That's my line. That is my line.
It is.
What do you want me to look up? I'm going to use my phone. Like a zoomer. Oh, now it's stopped. Black screen. Lovely. What do you want me to look up?
House failed inspections before 2000.
Go ahead and read.
In 2023, approximately 1.5 million new housing units were completed in the U.S. This includes both single-family homes, multi-family units. Specifically, there were about 1 million single-family homes and 450,100 multi-family homes completed. This is going to go kind of into like the inspection side of it. A lot of new construction. If you can go online on YouTube, and there's a bunch of inspectors that run their YouTube channels, and they go through and they do a lot of new house construction videos, and a lot of those copy and paste homes are pretty bad.
Yeah.
It's like, I have been through a section of town where they had 5 or 6 foundations laid out, and I've rolled through the day later, and they've already been completely stick framed. It's way too quick to catch everything that's wrong.
So a lot of companies they started hiring people to be QAs or QCs, quality control, quality assurance, if you will. A lot of times your foreman is the one supposed to go back and double check everybody. But you say foundations, but so whenever I did structural concrete, we always said if it was within 1/4 of an inch, you're good. And we're talking plumb and square. If you're within 1/4 of an inch being plumb and square, but here's the thing, whenever you have someone come up behind you and you're off 1/4 inch and they just follow what you put down, then that's off 1/4 of an inch. And then so on and so forth.
In a weekly show.
This is a monthly show.
There it is. Did you hear that? It's come back.
I heard.
Updates are underway. Oh! There it is. Oh, was that too much for you, Doug?
Do you need a hug?
Hey, buddy, can you continue?
So, yes, whenever the foundation's off, then the framing gets off. Generally, the trim guys, the door guys, and the guys that does all the finish work are generally the ones that get the brunt end of it. They're the ones that have to come in and make what's bad look good, even though it ain't square or plumb or whatever. In fact, there's been some cases, from what I've seen, you can have it squared, but you ain't gonna have it plumb.
Mm-hmm.
Or there's sometimes, do you want it plumb or do you want it square? Because you ain't gonna have either one. You're gonna have one.
I
but
dealt
not
with
the
that
other
today.
Mm-hmm. You deal with that a lot.
Getting into the inspection side of all this, this is not accurate up to a point. It's kind of just a rough estimated number from surveys and stuff. But a significant number of new construction homes do have issues identified during inspections. Around 24% of new home buyers find issues with their home that does not pass the first inspection. Additionally, 65% of those who did not get an inspection have also found problems. Many of the new homes have problems identified during inspections. Most of them are just common electrical, plumbing issues, foundation problems, mold, poor drainage, and then heating and air conditioning systems.
So a lot of what I see too. So generally, how this works is there's generally a general contractor who bids the entire job, and then he subs out the electrical, the plumbing, sometimes the framing, depending on whether or not they hire carpenters or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So they sub all this stuff out. So all they do is they manage the job.
You got 4 or 5 different crews from different companies
Exactly.
working on this place.
Exactly. And sometimes the general contractor has the framing, or sometimes they do this, or sometimes they do that, depending on how 9% of the time a general contractor is the one that's putting up the shell, if you will, the framework. Now, a lot of cities now on your framing and stuff like that, they come in and they inspect to make sure, no matter whether it's wood framing, steel studs, doesn't matter. They come in and measure to make sure you're 16-inch, 2 foot on center, depending on what the architect calls for.
You said before 2000?
Yeah.
Okay. I have your answer.
All right, what you got?
So, this is what I love AI, in that it will summarize all this.
That new AI feature.
I love it. This is what AI says, pulling from every source of the internet. In the late 1960s, it's estimated that only about 5% of total home purchases involved a home inspector in the U.S. Inspections began in the late 1960s, but it was less common for houses to undergo formal professional inspections compared to today, before the year 2000. The concept of a home inspection as a widespread practice was still developing at that time, which I find odd.
Well, we were at the point too. We were still using asbestos siding, all sorts of other stuff that wasn't good for us. I mean, as we've progressed, we've realized what doesn't need to be in there, what needs to be in there. I mean,
Materials change. You got to realize back before.
Well, think of what a 2x4 is today versus 30 years ago.
Well, that's so the 2x4s and the lumber that we get nowadays.
They're
so
younger.
built-
They're
well,
younger trees.
Well, yeah, the 1950s. That was probably the best era of houses being built because they were cutting a lot of older trees.
A little more
You-
hardwood, more
Exactly.
mature wood.
Exactly. So nowadays, you go out to like Oregon, and I'm not sure where all the states are. I know Oregon and Washington State, and some of them others. They plant pine. They plant that white pine because
Something to drink.
it's
It's
fully
Fast
mature.
growing.
Yes, 2 years it's fully matured. So they'll
That
go
stuff
through
is
that.
soft too.
It is. Of course, I like my oak. I like my hardwoods. But try cutting it and try building
Yeah.
out. It's not easy. But
That goes with some of the reasons why a lot of these don't pass is inferior building materials,
well,
cheaper materials, lumber.
if you go to the commercial side of things, it's all steel stud. There's barely any wood. So a lot of times, they'll-
Go to your. We're talking resident. We're talking
Oh, we're-
residential housing.
well, yes, right now.
Some of the some
Yes.
a lot of those construction companies, you don't hear very many of. Like they're all like they're just small subcontractors,
Mhm.
built out of everywhere. They're just trying to make a profit and turn out as many houses as they can.
Well, that's the name of the game. They get
Yeah.
paid the same regardless. They put in a bid, and it don't matter whether you guys knock it out in a week or 2 days.
Well, that's like the reduced
You
labor costs, faster construction times, and another reason that a lot of houses have
I
issues is
worked
less
for-
experienced labor when you're going from subcontractors to subcontractors.
I worked for this small outfit, and it was just like that. It didn't matter whether it took us 2 days or half a day. They wanted it done as quick as possible. From the second you hopped out of the truck till the day you called it quits, you was running pretty much all
Nonstop.
day, nonstop. And there was so many different mistakes that we would have to go back and try and fix. And the bad part is it was doing it in concrete. So just like pouring steps, you got to put like flashing or put something to break the bond whenever you're going up against the house. Completely forgot it because we were running to get it done.
Yeah,
They wanted it done that day. They wanted the form set up and they wanted it done. Didn't even think to go back and back check anything, and you had to clean up the mistakes afterwards. A lot of companies, so you got your inspections, and then you have what they call a punch list. So whenever you're at the end of the job,
Are you on the punch list?
but you're pretty much going through what I have right here. The drainage, grading, foundation issues, plumbing problems, electrical wiring.
well, everything's got to be everything.
Yeah, you have to check all your.
Yes,
Yeah.
and they have a certified inspector that comes out and check that all the way down.
I've seen a lot of inspectors give a lot of construction companies a hard time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, punch list, right?
Yeah, punch
Yes.
list. So what about that punch list, man?
There it is again.
You know, we can never keep on topic.
It's a
Squirrel.
podcast,
Squirrel.
dude. It's a podcast. No one cares.
Oh, good God.
And if they do care, watch a different show.
That's a them problem. I mean, come on. Not even Joe Rogan keeps it in order. You know?
Punch list?
Dang it! Shut up! Marm's going to sleep over here.
So how about you talk about your list, Doug?
Thank you.
Your arm's gonna be bruised.
I know. But
Your
like,
fiance's gonna wonder where you've been.
Wait,
No.
what? What did you say?
I said his fiance's gonna wonder where he's been.
is Mike being mean to you, Doug? Or
No, it's
Byron?
Byron.
Didn't I tell you to blink twice if you were in danger? And he said blink twice. He meant it.
It just keeps hitting me.
It's a very abusive relationship.
You're right.
And the
It's
kids
not-
aren't safe.
And you can't turn around.
I've
and
had to
hit
go
them
to
back. You can't hit
to my
females.
mom's house, and they have to stay there while we try to figure this out. But I just, I can't.
You
It's
two
so
need
hard.
couples therapy. Jesus Christ.
He just doesn't understand.
Neither do you. I've already heard you call her ugly once today.
You know what? If he doesn't like me, it's fine. But like,
Neither do I. You talk too much.
let me finish the bit. Let me finish the bit.
See? You talk too much. I
You
agree
talk
with
too much. You talk too
This
much.
is part of the bit.
No, it's not.
It was.
I started the bit, okay? It was my bit. And you're like, oh, you know what? Screw Byron's feelings and just run all over it. And you know what? You know what, Mike? This is why it's so hard being your friend. It's so hard.
As you're laughing over there.
I don't... Listen, it's a natural response. I can't control it.
You can. Punch list.
Beating up on the old man over here.
You finally accepted it?
I accept it fully if it makes him quit hitting me.
What kind of man was Teddy Roosevelt? Was he a nice guy?
How's the Great Depression?
You need to read a book.
Oh,
We're quoting off episode 2, buddy.
were you young enough to fight in the war?
Which one?
All of them.
The Great War.
World War One. Missed by a year.
Oh, you were too old. You aged out. Oh.
You are a fossil.
In car world, at
Were
20
you
years
on the
old.
Union side or the Confederate side? Do you remember Burning, Kansas? Oh, you must have been part of order number 11.
By the
That's
way,
why you're
be
up around
careful-
here.
be careful.
What it consists of is
What consists
you are you this list.
What list?
The one we write everything that's wrong down.
What's that list called?
A list.
What?
Inspection list.
Thank you.
Foiled again.
Thank you, Mike.
you parry the platypus.
Where's the self-destruct button?
break glass in case of emergency. Anyhow,
This tastes good.
you go through, you check everything from wiring to plumbing to trim, tile, you name it. That's where you walk through with the owner or someone that speaks for the owner. And
Are
they
you two not sweating?
No. We're not. You can cut that out.
anyhow, you go through, you check everything, you
I hope you burn in hell.
oh my god.
I made him break his rule.
Hell isn't a curse word, you dummy.
It's a place.
You're probably not even going to keep that in, though.
Oh, I am.
Can you keep it
Continue.
with the list?
Thank you. So, you go through, you check everything that the owner sits here and says, I don't like this, don't like this, don't like this. They write everything down, then generally the subs come in, they fix whatever's wrong. You get a double chance. And most companies, they only put like a year warranty on their product. So whenever the house is built, if there's something wrong,
Within
after
a year, you can get it fixed.
yes. After that, you're on your own. And that's same with commercial. Commercial's only a year.
Mm-hmm.
And I've heard a lot of people say just make sure it outlives the warranty. Heard several companies say that. Yeah, that's about all I got on that list. I'm not saying it.
So we're
yet.
getting. You probably have more insight on this comparison to older homes. There's material difference. Older homes, were built with a higher quality materials, thicker lumber, stronger nails. They also use more traditional and more durable construction methods.
Well, let's take a look at it like this.
But new construction, they're more energy efficient.
To a degree.
To a degree.
To a degree. I mean, you got to think a lot of your real old houses didn't have.
Well, a lot of the old houses will fail an inspection just because of new building codes.
That's why they grandfathered them in.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people that own them old houses do not have the money to basically gut it.
Gut out all the electrical, all the plumbing.
One thing I have experienced though, if you go for like first home buyers or anything specific as like a house loan, all your electrical outlets, if it's in the kitchen or if it's in the bathroom,
they need to be up to
GFCI.
Yeah.
They got to be a GFCI. Ground fault, I cannot remember the full name for it. But anyhow, if it's within 10 feet,
Ground fault indicator?
Interrupter, I
I
cannot
can't
remember.
He's looking.
We use the slang for it so much, I cannot remember.
Yeah, I've always said GFI.
Yeah.
Ground fault circuit interrupter.
Thank you. Yeah, so if it's within 10 feet of where water can get on it.
Yeah, it's got its own breaker inside. It
So
trips the breaker.
whether you're buying an old house or you're planning on selling yours, you still have a set of codes you have to follow.
You still have to update.
And there's some places, so the Bates County, for example, where we live, there's no building codes for say. In
I know a
Bates
friend of
County.
mine, she bought her house and she had an inspector come out to it. The dude did not catch the basement issues, that it was leaking through the foundational stone, and the roof had 4 layers of shingles on it, and there was I think 5 around the chimney.
You can't not do that many layers of shingles.
Yeah,
3
is
max.
pushing it.
Generally,
She just recently had them all removed and replaced because it was leaking in spots in the house around where that chimney was.
the cheap, and if you didn't want to do shingles, cheapest thing I could have told you if you could have get away with it, get some 1x, slap some purlins up, screw 10 on it.
Well, when you got 5 layers or whatever it was of shingles, you kind of need to get some weight off that before you add more.
That's too much weight on the roof. I just know that's kind of our quick fix for about any roof. If it's
You ever
leaking.
work with Smart Tech siding? That outdoor weather siding?
Is it like a masonite siding?
It's kind of like a compressed plywood glued sheet.
Okay, yes, I have. It's the sheeting and siding all in one.
Yes.
That's what.
No,
you know whose house has that I helped put it on? Then Cody's old house.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
we've done that. I'm not.
when you shoot that stuff with a nail gun, or when you put it on with a nail gun,
Yeah.
you're supposed to set that nail gun in to where it goes past that siding, and then you're supposed to weather caulk those holes or do some sort of weatherproofing to them. I've, not to name names, but you know who you are. I know you watch these, you little freaking low voltage.
It is.
The people that did his siding, they had their gun set to where the head of the nail went flush with the Smart Tech, and they've already rusted, and it's like, we kind of looked at it, and he already knows it needs replaced, but it's like, you can't, that stuff right there is like the cutting corners.
Well, go back if you want to go back to the early stages. There's 2 different styles of framing. There's Western style framing. There's balloon style framing. Do you know what the difference between the 2 is?
I don't know the balloon style.
Balloon style, let's say it's 2 stories. So normally, typically, Western style framing is where you want 8-foot ceiling heights. So you frame your bottom layer, then you run your joists for floors, then you build a floor on top, then you build walls on top of that. That's called Western style. Balloon style is where you get 20-foot long studs, and you frame these massive walls, and then you put the joists
up.
Yep. And then you put the joists in after the walls are up to separate the top and bottom floor. That is balloon style. You connect it all in one. I think balloon style, it's too much, but I think it's a lot stronger, in my opinion. because you go from having
There's less pieces.
yes, instead of having 2 different layers of your house.
Well, when you
You're-
think about
you're
that, you got 2
combining it.
different layers. Just that one layer has a crud ton of stud brakes.
Exactly.
And if you're getting rid of those,
well,
less nails, less places for a 2x to come loose.
exactly, less joints.
Was that your chair?
It's an old chair.
Oh.
What you missed out on is Mike was getting ready to take off on his new bike, and I couldn't help it. I jumped right up on the back of that sucker, and I watched the shock, and I go, "Wink!"
Yeah. I should have just floored it and took off with him.
You wanted to. Did you think that was going to go well for you?
I didn't know how it was gonna go.
No, we would have started moving, and any sort of throttle, that bike would have went, just leaned back.
It was one of them
Make that
scenarios.
noise again.
It
I'm clipping that.
It was one of them scenarios, you know. It's just we're just gonna do it and see how it ends.
I know exactly how that goes.
Not very well.
Everything all right?
Yeah, just give me a second.
Okay.
Here you go. Hold it for me, pumpkin.
Don't hit me.
Do you want to hold hands now?
All right, Byron, what's your 10-minute segment?
I don't have one.
You didn't do your homework, did you?
See how it feels now?
We always come with something, though. Come on, pull something out your butt. You're
All
good
right,
at doing
check
this.
it out. So, I've got a story
Are
of.
you okay?
What do you mean?
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Dude, you are drenched!
It's really hot here, dude. Anyway, so when I was 16, COVID hit, and I got a job with a landscape company. What was that for?
You just reminded me of my age. You was 16 in 2020.
Guess who else was 16 in 2020?
Mike.
Byron, how old are you?
21.
Yeah, I'm 22. When's your birthday?
Every year. Dummy. You don't know my birthday?
Dude, everyone asks me if I remember their birthday. I go, yeah, give me a second. I'll go to Snap.
Remember yours? June 2nd.
Yeah, it's 6th.
Pretty close.
You are off.
Guess my birthday.
You are off.
Guess my birthday.
No,
Do it.
never.
Do it. Do it.
Absolutely not.
No, you're going to.
His is fucking May 2nd, 1942. Oh, sorry. My bad.
You put me a year older than my grandmother.
Is it not?
What am I, my own grandpa?
You're your own cousin, sister's brother.
It's happened before.
I'm not going to say there's inbred in the family. I'm just going to say you start asking questions when you're related to
Guess
the
my
same
birthday
person
right
twice.
now.
Give me just a second.
No, 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 no. No cheating. You're going to guess it. No. 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 Mike, guess it. You're going to guess it. Mike.
I am
No.
gonna guess it.
Stop. Stop it. Stop. Stop it.
September 16th.
Damn it.
I'll be right back.
Ain't that crazy? I guessed that first try.
Oh, that is crazy. That is crazy how you... I hate everything that you choose to be.
Oh, damn. Were you an 03 baby or an 04?
The 3.
03? That's what I thought. I forget me and you were kind of the older ones of the group. We don't...
You're a couple months older.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I'll die sooner. It's alright.
I don't know, man.
My health statistics have dramatically dropped since I've bought a bike and work there's 2 things that can kill me every day. I have the life expectancy of a gosh dang hamster.
Spray foam. I'm a painter and sandblaster. And I'm in the sun all the time. It might be close. It might be the same year.
I used to do fire department. But a lot of fucking random stuff burning. I think there was a squirrel at one point. It smelled a little roasty.
Got our tool of the week.
Tool of the month.
Tool of the month.
Where's the battery?
Oh, it's a rattle sander.
About like all the girls on the TikTok. Whenever they're like,
Did you say the TikTok? Damn, you are old.
Is it the internet still? The Facebook?
You
The
know-
Twitter? The Instagram? The car?
Did you take your heart medication, sweetie? Alright, so 2020, I was 16 years old. I'm going to tell you about the worst work day of my life. I've probably told this story numerous times. So, 2020, I was 16 years old, I was landscaping. And on a Saturday, my boss calls me and says, Byron, can you come in today? I said, I don't want to. He says, I'll pay you double. I said, okay, where do you need me? So we go to Pleasant Hill. Can I have a sip of that? Oh!
Punch list.
So he sends me to Pleasant Hill. It had it had rained really hard the night before. Unfortunately, do you know what a recovery system is?
Is that where they send addicts?
oh,
Yes, but it's a system. I don't know how it works, but it's so the toilets don't back up and spill out. Well, the recovery system had overflowed, and so there was.
Well, how did it overflow if it's meant not to?
It failed.
Great detail. So, real shitty day, huh?
Poop was rising up from the toilet, and in this house, there's a toilet in the basement. We were commissioned to tear out all of the carpet out of this basement.
So you said it was a real shit day. You meant it seriously.
Yeah. Anyway,
You still go to therapy over that, don't you?
I probably should. I mean, so it's in a real suburban neighborhood. So the basement door is like 10 feet below the front of the house. Like the grade on the hill on the side of the house. And that made it really hard to carry up all these poopy carpet strips.
Please tell me you didn't fall and...
Oh, I fell several times. Will you quit? That's going to pick up in the audio.
Sorry.
And I'm not...
I'll quit. I'll quit.
There were several times that I fell.
I like how it just doesn't.
Poop stained, poop filled. I have to carry it up into the dumpster that's on the street. At one point, it had gotten into my mouth.
Oh. Oh. I'm sorry.
You wasn't paid enough.
Would you like to know how much I was paid?
I'm scared now.
$50 a day.
So he paid you $100 for that.
$50.
A day.
You did it for 2 days?
For one day.
He got paid $50.
But I was being paid double.
So you got 100.
You didn't get paid enough.
Doug, I know.
I'm sorry.
I'd like to say that's an original experience, but probably not.
Probably not. I was wearing shorts and a shirt.
Did he not tell you what this was?
Mm-mm.
You had zero idea
I
what
had
you were
no
walking
clue.
into.
I had no clue. Not an inch of me was dry.
And that's not because it was raining outside?
That's not because it had quit raining. It was done raining.
You had poop juice.
Oh,
Imagine living through it, Doug.
I would have left.
And it was June.
Oh.
Actually,
Yeah.
no, it wasn't June. It was May. Late May.
Ugh.
I'm about ready to throw up. Good God.
Well, I go back to my truck. The day was over.
You were scarred.
I opened my truck door. Oh man, my new seat covers. What am I gonna do? These were nice seat covers. Like, it was red and black. It was really nice. I'm like, I can't drive this home. I stripped naked and put like a trash bag that I found in the back of the truck on the seat. It wasn't enough.
They hurt you.
Huh?
They hurt you. Are you getting emotional?
Yes. I go home. I take the longest shower of my life.
Did it ever get the smell off you?
I took like an hour-long shower.
Did you wash in bleach?
Say that word again?
Bleach?
No. The other word.
Wash?
Wash?
No, but I probably should have. And then I'm in the shower. Oh, I have a date tonight.
You smell like shit.
No, I smelled really nice. I put on this new soap that I got from Bath and Body Works. I was smelling muy delicioso.
Well, how'd the day go?
Well, I told her about my day.
The last date, or was there another date after that?
There's nothing there.
I'm just wondering if she gave you a second chance, like another chance to redeem yourself from the shit day.
Most women don't.
Due to his lack of words and silence.
She's in New York right now.
God damn.
It's okay. Whenever me and Dee Dee, our first date, so she actually reached out to me and everything. And she goes, well, what are you doing? I messaged her back and said, Building America. She honestly thought that was just a Donald Trump thing. So, no, I'm a carpenter.
You thought she would get all hot and bothered by that?
I was going to see if it was going to piss her off. No, didn't piss her off.
Doug likes testing the waters.
I really do.
That's why it's a redhead.
Redheads are fun. That's why I'm marrying one.
If you're a moron.
I like playing with fire.
Dee Dee's going to see this, and next time she sees you, you're going to get slapped. Like, her ears probably burning.
Are you
right
kidding me?
now.
There ain't a mean bone in that woman's body.
I watch her
Have
abuse
you met your fiance?
Yes.
I've been around your fiance. She is mean to you.
Not really mean, but like,
No.
Doug deserves it.
If she does something to me, I had
9 times out of 10, Doug deserves it.
I had it coming out. So we had our first date and everything. She was all shy, didn't want to talk or anything. And so I couldn't help it. I wind up, I told her about my hunting, told her about this, told her about that. And, well,
Told her about this and that.
yeah, pretty much.
Oh, okay.
And then I'm sitting there, I'm
Did
like,
you tell about that and the other thing?
In that short story?
probably. I don't remember. Anyhow, so finally,
Anyhow.
so I'm like, all right, none of this has scared her off yet.
Did you try to?
Yeah. Figured if I try and scare them off and they stick around, well, I'll give them a shot. So I finally had a breakdown. Well, how long?
You break down.
Hey, glass right behind you.
Talk
Man,
about-
that was an old chair. We seem to have lost our editor. He will be back shortly.
Talk about having a breakdown.
Hey, Doug, what's the tool of the month?
You're watching the Shop Floor podcast.
Well, apparently, the shop is falling apart.
And this is what happens when you have poor quality. So, tool of the month.
I'm not over here yet.
Okay.
Man, by the end of this, you look like you've gone swimming.
Tell us about the tool of the month.
I'm confused.
About what?
Everybody is.
About what?
Everything.
All right, tool of the month. Tool of the month. We have here a belt sander. Obviously Milwaukee, because that's all I run. This
Because you're high class.
Can you explain to the uneducated ones what a belt sander is?
a belt sander takes a piece.
Would you like something thrown at you?
Not preferably.
Not you. I'm not talking to you.
Oh,
You've been abused today, haven't you?
very much. So.
Rightfully so. Deservedly so.
Yeah. So generally takes sandpaper like this. This is 3 by 21, 3 inches wide by 21 inches long. Generally slides in. Yes, I left the battery in the truck.
If you don't want to know what a Milwaukee battery is, well, you probably shouldn't be watching.
Well, I mean, I can push the trigger, watch it spin. That's all it does. It just spins really fast. You can use it for planing wood out, sanding it out nice. You go from 30 grit all the way up to 300 grit. Usually it's more predominant in woodworking. You know, cabinetry, trim.
What else would you use it for? Besides woodworking?
Felonies.
Never thought about that.
Officer, come here.
Is that a weapon? Is that a weapon? Well, it can be. Come here. Put your hand on this.
Let me just step up the grit real quick. Byron, your face, when I just you look so stunned.
What?
When I said felonies.
That's pretty funny.
Well, there's. You can even sharpen lawnmower blades with them. Get the right grit, 80 grit. If you don't have a grind,
I wouldn't recommend it.
Quick sharpen on a putty knife.
sharpen your knife. I mean, yeah, there's all kinds of things you can do with these. But predominantly woodworking. If you glue two pieces of wood together and they're, uneven by a little bit, you can use that to sand it to where they meet,
Plane it out.
pretty much. They're
No, but since you're a master carpenter, you don't ever have to use that, do you?
Correction, there's no such thing as a master carpenter.
Sorry, you journeyman carpenter. You don't ever have to use that, do you? Everything lines up
There's no such
spotless.
thing as a master carpenter.
So there's a master plumber, master electrician, and a master mason. There's no, you go from apprentice to journeyman on carpenter. There's no such thing as a master carpenter. No. So wherever you become an apprentice, you're supposed to stick with the journeyman. And the journeyman's supposed to take you, teach you. Then wherever you journey out, you're supposed to, as it goes, you're supposed to go out and go wherever you want once you journey out. Like whenever I entered an apprenticeship in Kansas City, I'm married to Kansas City. That whole apprenticeship, I can't go anywhere.
You're
You-
married?
Well, not Ted.
Not in the sense.
You're engaged, sir.
Yes, I am engaged. He's throwing me off. Anyhow, you can transfer. There has been people that transferred from one city to the other, but it's not recommended. You start your apprenticeship in whatever city you're in. They generally recommend you stay with that city. Then once you journey out, you can go anywhere in the country you want afterwards. I can go to Chicago and work, New York, or even Joplin. I can go anywhere in the country.
Your limit's just your transportation.
It's wherever you want to drive. But as far as electricians, same thing with like an electrician or a plumber. You go in as an apprentice, and then they put you under a journeyman and a foreman and whatever, and they teach you the trade, if you will. And you take classes and stuff. And then once you become a journeyman, if you want to become a master plumber or a master electrician, it's just another test you have to take that's more detailed. And so they recommend, if you're gonna, for a plumber, they really recommend you become a master if you're gonna become a plumber. Electricians, it all depends on what you want, because it can mean working from anything from 110 to 220 to 440 on voltage.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But carpenter, it's all the same. What you would consider a master at carpentry would be your guys that could form. Okay, I'm getting boring. All right, I'll shut up. I'll shut up.
I'm listening to you. He's the one over there snoring.
Well, I mean, he asked me why there's
No,
not.
I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
So a carpenter technically.
Don't you dare. You sit there and you be nice. We already had couples therapy once.
What do you mean?
You be nice to him.
What do you mean?
Go on, sweetie.
He's about to cry.
I said twice, not 10!
So, a carpenter, technically, you should be able to form up concrete, structural concrete, for the foundation, to framing, to putting on the sheetrock, to putting on the trim, to hanging the doors, to putting on the doorknob. There's so much, I'm trying to think, to the carpentry. Like, we even do pile driving, which is where you got, looks like an I-beam, but it's 3/4 inch thick steel, and you literally, you set it up, and there's generally a crane with a big hammer, and that just drives the damn thing straight into the ground, 80, 90 feet for bridges.
That's what they call me in middle school.
Pile driving.
Mm-hmm.
But for like bridges, carpenters do bridges. I mean, you name it. If you want to consider someone a master, it'd be someone that has had general knowledge or have done and knows every aspect of the trade. Because there's such a broad spectrum. Whenever you say carpenter, everyone always goes to, oh, you build houses. I'm a commercial carpenter. And I'm also, I work for a general contractor, so I literally do everything from, I might have to replace floor tile, or putting trim in, or hanging a door.
Mm-hmm.
There's
A crud ton of stuff.
Yeah. But no, electricians, they got their own thing. You got your regular, what we call sparkies, and you got your low voltage, and you got your linemen. Plumbers and pipe fitters, depending on where you're at, are two different things.
No, that wasn't toward him.
Was it not?
No, I was checking my notification. I had someone buzz me. Did you think I was checking the time because he was talking?
No.
Oh, you
He
started
said
laughing.
low voltage, and I was
Oh.
because of Drew.
I thought when I put up my phone.
What did you think I was?
Well, I pulled up my phone with the time, and the entire time you've been over there going, giving him shit about taking so long. So when I pull up my phone and I go, oh, it's 9:03, and you were like, you just started laughing. I'm like, dude.
Go ahead and wrap up.
All right. Well, anyhow, each trade's got their own things, but there is no master carpenter for if you say. Yeah.
Alrighty, since it's June, we're gonna talk about heat strokes.
This is Luke.
Hey, Luke, this is Byron.
Oh, hey, Byron.
Hey, buddy, we're talking about heat strokes.
About heat strokes.
Yeah. Doug, this is my buddy Doug.
How's it going?
Good. How are you doing?
Pretty good.
This is my buddy Mike. You remember Mike?
I've met you at a couple parties here.
Oh, yeah, I remember Mike.
Well, buddy, we're talking about how dangerous it can be in the heat. So, tell us about your heat stroke.
Dude, You what?
Tell us about your heat stroke.
Alright, well, so last year I was in the union. I was a welder for the union, and I was doing I was welding up some, I'd say probably about 3-inch plate that was like 24 foot by 12 foot up onto this precast, so that way we could put up some. We had this place coming in called Drill Tech, so it was like the precast just been set. Oh, well, we just poured the precast. We just poured the concrete in, so it was already hot as it was, and I was sitting there welding, and it was probably about, I'd say there's a heat index of like 115 or so. So like, you know, you're welding with that on top of the hot concrete, on top of the welding, on top of just getting done torching too. So it was probably a couple, I'd say it's probably about 180 degrees, 190 easily, because I was in kind of an enclosed spot. And well, I was sitting out there and I was like, it's getting super hot, and it was getting really, I was sweating really bad for a while, and then I stopped sweating. So I walked off and I went and sat in the truck for about 5 minutes, and I got back out, and I was outside for like maybe less than 2 minutes. I started throwing up real bad. I ended up falling out. I fell down and passed out for a minute. And luckily some guys came over, picked me up, and woke me back up. I got sat in the truck, and I started it almost felt like kind of like a seizure almost, because like my muscles were tensioned up real tight, and I couldn't like move my arms or my legs or my body. I could just sit there and shake and like was super tense. And they rushed me over to the medic bay where we keep our safety guys and our on-site medics. And I was sitting in there throwing up, going in and out, probably going in and out for about 2 or 3 hours. But they never ever took me to the hospital, so I ended up going about, I'd say 3 to 4 days later, because I had gone about 3 days without being able to eat, because every time I'd eat, I'd throw it back up. So I ended up going to the hospital, got laid down, spent the night there for a while. Almost spent the night there. They injected me with a whole bunch of IVs and drew some blood. And I was like, now, I noticed since that happened, probably last July or probably last August actually. So, and yeah, ever since then, it's like, I can't be out. Like, if I'm out in the heat for if it's like more than 75 degrees or 80 degrees, I start sweating, and if I get out in time, the job I'm at now, I get a company truck, so I get to just leave it running with the AC on. But I'll like relax in there for a little while, and I'll end up falling asleep because I'm so like drained, and the heat just kills me. Like any sort of sun, like
you've got no energy
humid
now
and whatnot, that kills me too.
So they say that once you had a heat stroke, you never fully recover, or you just can't take the heat anymore, right?
Yeah. You basically, so what it is once you get it once, you're more acceptable to get it again, and then you're also like never the same ever again after that, because you can't really work out in the heat.
Right.
What do you think would have happened if those guys weren't there to pick you up?
I probably would have died.
So you're pretty close to death there.
Yeah, no, it was a pretty scary moment right there, because like that probably would have been the end of the line right there.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we're glad you made it through it. Yeah.
So, as you're on the Shop Floor podcast, with this heat stroke in mind, what's some advice you can give to the youngsters that are working in Missouri June heat?
Man, I'd probably say what you need to do is just drink lots and lots of water. If you're not you drink one water, you need to have another water in. Make sure your pee's like, you don't want it to be super clear, but you want it to be like a tint of yellow. And just make sure you're taking breaks, getting in the shade, getting in the AC if you can. And if you can't get in the AC, like I said, just sit in the shade and sip on water. And make sure you get you can get like a towel, or you can just get a water bottle that's been in a cooler and rest it on your wrists. Don't rest it on your neck, because that can actually give you it can actually put you into it's like a heat, they call it heat shock or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Or something like that. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but that can do worse damage. And definitely do not pour it on your body unless you absolutely have to.
Now let me ask you: do you like watermelon?
Oh yeah, I love watermelon. That's another good thing. Pack lots of fruits.
Yes, fruit. Watermelon naturally cools your body down. So if you put it in your lunchbox and eat that at lunch, it'll naturally cool your body down.
And if you can get a hold and always have like liquid IV or some sort of electrolyte packet on hand.
I really like Gatorlyte, like the Gatorade's Pedialyte. That is really. I get the zero sugar just so I don't get the sugar
that you sweat out.
crash.
It's got the potassium that your body needs.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you just drink straight water, you're at a certain point you're flushing your body out of the rest of the salt and the rest of the potassium.
Yep.
Yeah.
We were.
Pedialyte or that Gatorade Light, or even don't drink Gatorade. That's like, yeah, they always say like Gatorade's good for you when it's hot. It's not. It's actually terrible for you because it's got a lot of sugar in it.
That's why you get the zero sugar one.
Yeah, like, and if you do, I do the Powerade or the Body Armor.
Another good thing is keep a good healthy diet of salt. I know it makes you thirsty, but it also it helps retain the water in your body.
Yeah, that is true. Try not to eat greasy foods too.
Mm-hmm.
So I was out with Luke and his girlfriend. I was taking their pictures, and we were out in the heat all day. And Luke, he was close to having a tough time. Weren't you, Luke?
Oh yeah, no, it was. Yeah, we were probably out there for like maybe an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Tops maybe. And we weren't doing nothing but walking in and out of the shade. But I'm like, even in the shade, it's the heat. Like if it's heat, it's just gonna get me.
Yeah,
I don't know all the stuff that it does to you, but
the first sign is like what he said, whenever you stop sweating, and what's really bad is whenever the wind starts feeling cold, like bone chilling cold to you.
Yeah.
And then
That's your nervous system reacting to everything.
Mm-hmm.
that's your nervous system on fire, basically.
Yeah, that's when
Say,
you're
'cause
in trouble.
Body naturally tries to cool you down, and in that instance, it's like your body doesn't know what to do.
Yeah, your body just pretty much said, "I've done all I can do at this point."
Yeah.
So it's a scary thing. I've seen a lot of guys fall out over the years. Big one is, being a tradesman, they always tie us into drinking a lot. Generally in the summertime, I do not recommend drinking during the week.
Oh no.
Because all that does is it dehydrates your body. You don't have everything. You don't have all the fluid in your body that you need at that point.
Drinking alcohol. I just want to make that clear. Just clarify.
Drinking alcohol.
Yeah. Like drinking right before just kills you the next day.
Yep.
And then you think to do it again that night. You don't think it does a lot, but it does a lot more than you think.
Yeah.
Drinking, even just alcohol, naturally dehydrates you pretty quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you wake up and you've already got dehydration going on. You go out and work out in the heat. And
So
I'd say too. Also, when you first wake up in the morning too, always try to drink you at least one. I think it's like a 16-ounce cup of ice water.
Mm-hmm.
Like that helps to wake you up. For one, it helps to wake you up, and also it just helps get your body like, all right.
It also, what it does is it's better than coffee. So
Yeah.
you drink that if you drink ice water first thing in the morning, and I do it every morning. What it does, it not only just kickstarts you, it turns your metabolism on. It actually helps supposedly lose weight. I don't know. I eat too much, but it kicks your
Don't we all?
yeah. But anyhow, yeah, it kicks your metabolism on and makes your works better than coffee is the easiest way to put it.
Oh yeah, much better.
But
Well, Luke, I appreciate your call, pal.
thank you, Luke.
Yeah, not a problem. Thanks for calling me, guys.
Yeah.
yeah, have a good one, bud.
Hey, you too. You guys don't work too hard out there.
Never do. Love you, Luke. Bye.
Bye bye.
I do, buddy. Bye.
I gotta see what that shit called.
That's probably a pretty good way to end it. You're watching the Shop Floor Podcast. Stay cool out there. Drink lots of water. Drink some Pedialyte. Zero sugar Pedialyte. Be safe, y'all.
See you next time.
You've been watching the Shop Floor Podcast. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions or you want to get on the hiring list, you can email oxmidwestern@gmail.com. That's oxmidwestern@gmail.com. That's when you say thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.
Okay.